drilling holes again.
And concrete.
And no, it's not for the deck. It's not for another deck. Hello everybody. Are we vlogging? Lisa's warmed up. This morning it was cold. Yeah. Can you go dig? Go dig with the digger.
Yeah.
There's a project that we have been waiting on for ever since we moved to Mongolia.
It's like our dream.
It's like our dream. The greenhouse was a big project, but we had another one that we were working on over these 2 years, and finally the opportunity has come, and it's going to make a huge difference.
Yeah.
The problem that we have in Mongolia is that the reliability of electricity here is terrible. Everybody knows in Mongolia there are power outages. They will just drop, they will take it out. You will lose power for the whole day, and it's really scary. Now that we're coming into winter, things are getting colder. We're having to burn fire to heat up. We did put in underfloor heating last year, but we noticed our electricity bill went skyrocketing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like triple
price.
price.
Yeah. In Mongolian was 800,000?
Yeah.
800,000 Mongolian tulu per month. And that's extremely expensive. It's not expensive for overseas standards, but for the amount that we earn, we can't afford to pay that amount of money and survive in the winter.
Yeah, it's gonna be another huge project.
Another big project. Come, let's show you.
Huge.
Another huge project.
Yeah.
Let us show you what we're doing.
Let us show you. How many members our family?
So what we have been working on, we already have the greenhouse, which is a passive solar greenhouse on this side, because in Mongolia it's just makes sense to use the sun here in Mongolia, since you have how many clear days? 260 something clear days.
5 days.
Yeah, something like that of sun. So it makes total sense. What we plan to do is we're going to put in solar so that we can be reliant on electricity that we can make ourselves.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is we're going to put a 10 kilowatt solar array system on our property that will be able to generate hopefully as much electricity as we need. And we know here in Mongolia the information is not out there about all the pros and the cons and how it works. We're going to take you along on this whole project, show you exactly how we're going to put it all together, how we're going to build the framing, the solar panels that we decided to buy.
And the big thing also, how much the cost.
Yeah, how to connect everything, how to put the solar panels together, the charge controllers, the battery, how much it costs.
Yeah.
We will do a complete breakdown for you, exactly how much the whole system costs, how much our electricity bill was last year, and how much our electricity bill will be next year.
Or this winter.
So this winter, so it's going to be a couple of videos, but we'll go through everything. Also in Mongolia, it's not very known that you can set it up to the grid as well, and then you can get credits. So basically the government will not pay you for giving electricity back to the grid, but you will get points where you can deduct that from your electricity bill as well. We partnered up with a couple of companies. We're going to give you all the information on that.
Yeah.
Plus, there are brokers here in Mongolia that can also sell your carbon credits, so you can actually earn some money from having solar.
Yeah.
It's all new to us. We're going to learn on the go, and we're going to teach you everything about putting together a solar system.
Yes, give you guys all the information we can.
Yeah. Because we're going to put in a 10 kilowatt system, we need to have a certain amount of solar panels that values up to that value. We went for 555 watt panels. That means we need 18 panels. So we need to do a ground mount system. The spacing that we have is not enough for 18 panels. So we're going to build 3 different arrays. We're going to have 2 6 panels, so 12 panels on ground mount that we're going to build. We're going to have 6 panels 3 meters in front of the bigger array. So we're going to have 3 sets of 6. Our property is also at a bit of an angle, so the last couple of days we've made forms. The reason we're putting big concrete blocks is it gets very windy in Mongolia in the spring, and the wind comes from the north to the south. And if we have this 4.5 meter solar array, the wind can just pull it over. So the concrete is there for a ballast. We contacted many companies. It was a bit chaotic. Some companies, they had ground mounting systems, but they don't want to sell it to you because they want to sell the solar panels as well. Some of the companies did have the C profile, but they didn't have everything. It was a bit of a challenge. So basically what we decided to do is not use any other system. We're going to build it our way. And the reason we want to build it our way is most of the frames that you can buy, they are not adjustable, which doesn't make sense in Mongolia. The sun changes quite a lot. In winter time, you want to have a solar array which is about 60 degrees, and in the summer about 30 degrees, and in the spring around 45. Those are good estimates on how to go. The solar panels weigh 28 kilos and 12 of those, so it's going to be quite heavy. We're going to build actually 3 sets of solar panel mounts that it's going to hold 4 solar panels each, and we're going to be able to adjust that. We want to get these forms and the first poles done this week, so next week we can do the rest of the metal and get the solar panels on, as it's starting to get cold and I want my floor heating back on. Because my wife said I can't have the floor heating until the solar panels are on. We've just run a pole from the right hand side to the left hand side, in the front and in the back. Our forms are pretty much 40 by 40 by 2.5 meters, and that's going to work as a ballast. We've also dug a hole down in the front, a hole down in the back, where we're going to have 6 by 6 steel, kind of like what we did on our deck. That's going to be all concreted in. Because we're on a slant, we want the solar panels to be, of course, even. We're just doing this so we can work out what the hole depth is on that side compared to the hole depth on this side. This one we need to add on 40 centimeters, so we're just going to write that all down for the front and for the back, so when we start cutting the poles to put the poles in before we do the concrete, we know the height, and we concrete everything up, and then we will level it at the end. A simple way to do it without a laser or anything like that. It'll work. I still have a phobia about using this cutting machine.
Shame.
I'm like, I just see it bouncing back on me again.
Oh, no.
We use these two 6x4s. If you help me, we put one pole this side, we put one pole that side, clamp those in. We do the same on this, the front side. You put a pole there, I put a pole there, we clamp those in, and then we clamp a cross beam, and then we make sure that the distance on this one and the distance on this one is exactly the same, and the distance apart is the same. Then we can come and mark the poles where we're going to put them. We can clamp those up and make sure everything's level, and it will sit hopefully until we can pour the concrete tomorrow. I'm feeling confident it's gonna work.
Good.
Okay. I hate augers. No, these hand diggers that we got, we used for doing the deck poles, digging down. On the deck poles, we had a 15 centimeter diameter. This one we got 20 centimeters. But still, when you're going down with these hand augers, it moves all the time, so the holes are never accurate. We just spent some time trying to get this at least straight. So we had to dig out this hole by hand, this hole by hand. We're still going to have 4 more poles this side, 4 more poles this side, and the holes do not line up, of course. Basically, we're going to have to dig them out by hand. That's just on this one. Then we still need to work out those 8 holes over there. Was it 8? 10?
12.
12.
It's fine.
Those 12 holes are probably not straight. But that's why we wanted to do this today, because the concrete is here, but the concrete mix is coming tomorrow, and we want to concrete this up. We're losing light, call it for today, I think, and then get up early, get these holes dug. At least Zula's parents are here. They're going to be here for the weekend. Zula's brother's coming tomorrow to help us, and we get the concrete in, dig these holes, do the front, and then have that. Yeah. Challenging getting everything straight.
Yeah, at least set up and then much easier after.
Yeah, but we've had worse challenges as this. A little bit of tweaking here and there, a little bit of hole digging, and we'll have this job finished by tomorrow. Just hand digging out some of those holes. But anyway, hand dug out half the holes.
Yeah.
Now that we have everything marked off, we can get the 4 outer poles level
Yes.
and in place. We've marked out exactly where the 4 poles in the front and the 4 poles in the back are going to be. We're going to put those into place, get those all lined up. When everything is all lined up, we can get the mixer, which is here. We've got some extra concrete, some extra gravel, waiting for your brother. We're going to mix up some concrete, get that in, that can set, so we can start working on the 6 panels that are going to be one level in the front. We're going to do them slightly differently because we're going to use different techniques for the tilting, because this is 2 panels on top of each other, which is about 4.5 meters.
Yeah.
There's only 1 panel, which is 2.5 meters or 2.2 meters.
Yeah.
So we don't need to have such a strong system there, but we'll go through that as we build it. Let's crack on. We only have this concrete mixer today, so we need to get everything done. It's a little bit windy, but at least it's overcast. But it's okay. Once we get this done, we can get the panels on, get everything made up, we can get the heater on, and we can
And then heat's coming.
because we can afford to pay our electricity bill.
Yeah.
All right, let's crack on, get that done. When you run out of clamps, use scotch. It'll work. Now we're ready to pour the concrete. We're just going to do some rebar. We have this leftover fencing type rebar that we had for the basketball court. We're putting this at the bottom. Then we have more higher grade rebar that we're going to place all the way down and inside the holes. We're just going to start mixing up concrete, start putting it in, and then once the concrete is done here, we can then start focusing on the front. I think we got it pretty much done with this concrete machine. We start off with half a bag of concrete. Well, actually we start off with 1.5 buckets of water. Then we add in half a bag of concrete. We'll add in sand, which has got gravel inside of it, and then we just add in some bigger gravel stones until we get the consistency that we want. Much easier than the bathtub.
Yeah.
I never want to use that bathtub again, but I'm sure we will one day. So what we need to do, because the solar panel is going to be same as that one, it's a third of 2 solar panels over on this side. Here is going to be a third of 1 solar panel on the other side. So we need to work out what the distance of a third of a solar panel is. The solar panel is 2 meters 27.8.
Yeah.
If that solar panel is at a 90-degree angle, that is the height we will be touching the ground. at a 45 degrees angle is a half of a third. I'm losing you. Half of a third at a 45 degree angle. That's what we need to know. Add on 50. Easy. It's really windy out, but we're carrying on. All the concrete is poured on that form. All the poles are in, so now there's nothing more that we can do with that one. We're starting on the measurements for the 6 solar panels that are going to be on the front side. We're going to have a little bit of a different system. So we're going to have a higher pole in the front and a lower pole at the back, so we can have this like adjustment. We're going to be able to be flexible with any measurement that we want to move the solar panels.
100.
120, 105, 120, 105, 120.
Yeah, something like that.
576. The sun is gone, plus it's getting really, really cold out here. Plus we have a couple more calculations, so it's going to take some time, and then we'd have to mix concrete. They're coming to pick up the concrete mixer in the morning, so I don't think that we're going to have the chance to use it for this, but it's only a few small holes. We can mix it by hand, but it's getting there. We got the back one done. We got it all wrapped up for tonight, since there'll probably be a lot of frost in the morning, so that'll be okay. But we got that done. The poles are looking really, really tall, but we will cut them down to size. Tomorrow we'll come and fix the rest of these poles, get them all lined up, get them concreted up. I'm going to go in, crash, spend some time with Flame. We'll pick this up tomorrow. Why are you taking care of those clamps so nicely, Zula?
Because really kind couple that our local shop, they have all building materials shop, and then I asked them to, can I borrow these ones? So then I have to take care of it and then take it back to them. So really thanks guys that borrow us these clamps. It really helps.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why I really take care of them.
We're up early this morning. We just waited for the sun to come out because it is -4 this morning, which is what, 25?
No, it was -7.
Yeah, but it's -4 now.
Now, yes.
It's going to go up to +12, +13 degrees.
Yeah, today is
it's going to warm up
13, yeah.
when the sun comes out, warms up. But anyway, we called the company that rents the concrete mixer. They said we can have it for a few more hours. Of course, we had to pay for that.
Yeah.
But we want to finish this job, and I don't feel like doing concrete by hand. We're just going to get all these poles in the right place, use the brackets that we used on the other side so we can hold it all together,
Yeah.
mix up some concrete, pour it up, and get that done this morning. Doing, Flamey? Oh, thank you for the ball. Gotta go play.
Let's go play basketball.
That was pretty simple. It went down. It took a couple of days, but at least it's in now. This was the main part. This was the
Hardest
part. The rest is just going to be some welding and
Not
some
just.
painting and things
Yeah.
like that. But
Paint again.
at least the main part of the frame is done. Now we need to let that cure for a few days, and next week we can come and start doing the rest of the frames, and hopefully by the end of next week I want to have the solar panels on, so that the week after we can get all the charge controllers and everything set up and get it hooked on. But it's absolutely a beautiful day. It's warmed up nicely. I
Yeah.
think we're just going to spend it as a family.
Yeah. And then Ashley's gonna cook and I'm gonna play basketball.